we're going to talk a little bit here about the process. And this is going from a point where you may not be receiving any home support yet at all, right?
Oh, okay.
Let's go right back to the beginning. Let's go right from the beginning, right? So,
yep.
So the health authority assesses your eligibility for home support. So that's the very beginning. This is, sometimes it's a phone call that you make to the local health authority. And at that point, you're phoning up and saying, I'm 19, I need home support. Yes. And at this point, they would ask you some questions and stuff over the phone and stuff. But I think that what we want to do is be able to prepare you for this part. Let me just see what I got here as my notes here. At this point, when if maybe you're newly injured or now, or maybe you're just looking at home support for the first time, quite often you will be asked if you want some other options, shared care options, for example, maybe group home options, extended care facilities. These options are provided to you by the case manager when they come and see you. And you need to be prepared to talk about those, because some may be an option for you and many may not be an option for you. Just like for me, when they said that, for me, the best place to go for me was George Pearson Center, as an extended care facility. And for me, that wasn't an option, right? And
it's an option that they present, but is it an option that you want to take? That's
exactly,
two different worlds.
Exactly. And I think the message I want to be really clear about is that you have the right to say no to these options that are presented to you. I also want to be really clear that there is a choice between the CSIL program and the agency. When you're going for this for the first time, you do have that option, and they both should be talked about at the time.
Right.
But I think that it is quite normal to be able to present to you all of the options. But it doesn't mean you need to be scared about those options. You need to just be really clear about what's for you and what's not for you.
I see someone online also was presented the George Pearson option. So,
right. And so, and again, you need to be clear about why. Why isn't George Pearson an option for you, right? And and you need to be able to talk about that. Why not a group home setting with 3 other people?
So why
not a shared care night system?
So what would you say?
Well, I think it all depends on you as a person, first of all. Right? Because maybe a shared care night position, in a building that you share with 6 other people, it may work, right? However, if it's shared nighttime and daytime, and you can't take your attendant with you when you want to go to work or go to the problem, right? Or if in my case, I have a family and I want to be able to go away and do things with my family.
And you travel.
And I travel and stuff.
Yeah,
so, but it's important to know what all the options are. At the same time, be aware that sometimes some options are pushed a little harder than others. And, and for many different reasons within the system. So. But you have to know and be ready for that discussion. And I think we should talk about family here as well at this point, because I think that I don't remember if we have a slide on this.
No, we don't actually.
So I think it fits here now when we're talking about the options, right? Because I know I met recently with a family that the mom and dad have been great caregivers and have been caring for their son with a physical disability for he's into his 40s now, and not receiving any home support whatsoever.
Up until he's 40?
Up until he's 40, and now they're in their late 60s, and and they're now just finding out about home support.
Wow.
Shocking, right? Shocking.
Yeah.
And this person needs significant support, physical support. And so, but one of the things when I went and talked to them was, I let them know that, there are options,
yes,
places where he could go. And as soon as I said that, they retreated, going, "Oh no, we'll take care of him. We'll take care of him." Now these are two elderly people that their bodies are falling apart.
Yes.
You know, their own health is at a point where they're not sleeping at night and everything. So, and I'm mentioning this more because I think it's important for families not to feel just because institution is brought up means that you have to move to the institution.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be brought up, and you need to let them know if that's not suitable for you, that you will be very clear that that's not suitable for you.
As long as you have, you know, it's one of those things that you have to think about, come up with the, you know, the appropriate sort of reply to it, but you have to put some thought behind it so it's a little bit rational.
Absolutely, and you don't want to hear it the first time in a meeting where you're having to make a decision. You know, if you know that an extended care facility is not for you, you should be able to talk about it, but you will be asked to go visit one, right? And so you have to decide, you know, why don't you want to go visit one and have a look, you know? So put some thought into it for sure.
Question is, you know, we're talking about families.
Yeah.
Can you hire family as well through the CSIL program?
You can. We have the payment family member policy.
Okay.
And Fernando's going to add that to our list for the next one because which we can give you the exact policies on it. But you are allowed to hire your brothers and sisters, but you can't hire automatically your mother, father, or your siblings. However, there is a policy in place through the Ministry of Health for a process to be able to get them hired if you're not able to find staffing.
Right.
And then you can ask for special permission. And the Ministry of Health has been great about looking at that as a policy.
Right.
Not sure if it's always that easy to get.
Well, I mean,
but I'm sure that's what some people are going to write feverishly about because. But I want to make sure you have the policy, and let's have that in the next on our next one.
Good one. Yes.
And let's talk about the best way to move forward with it.
You know, there was an earlier question about Fort St. John.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a great question to sort of fit into that one because I mean, it's one of the options that you have to consider also.
Absolutely.
You can't really find some you know great attendant care in smaller communities. Some smaller communities you find some great. We have the same problems here in Vancouver, regardless of the size. Really.
That's right. That's right.
You know.
Actually, Fernando, and Fernando, you were hitting it on the nose there, right? In regards to the fact that that is a perfectly good reason why it should be considered an option.
Yeah,
could be an option, and it's the same with the husband and wives, by the way, as well. You know, fits in with that category. Yeah. So it can't be done automatically, but you can get permission. But at the same time, what we have to discuss a bit is, do you want your family member to do it? And there's pros and cons, right? And so for some of you, you've thought about it long and hard, and you know you've chosen that your family member would make the most sense for you, and that's great.
Right.
For others that you know may find that their moms and dads may be a bit overbearing and not going to do the actual care that you want them to do. So we need to have that thought and discussed out so that you're not feeling pressured by a family member to do it as well, right? But we have seen the family member piece work very, very well. Husband and wives being able to apply, and when they were successful, it just made sense. It just made sense for so many reasons.